it does feel like this Epstein thing is going to go on forever. Because, okay, the Dems released, I think it's like some sort of committee, they released these images that were subpoenaed from Jeffrey Epstein's estate. Jeffrey Epstein's estate turned over to this committee like 95,000 images, like pictures, everything like that, and then they released to the public 19. Which seems maybe only one person's working today or something. Like maybe there's like a thumb in most of the shots on the rest of the pictures. This is crazy. 19 out of 95,000. Apparently, I still want that to be like a fake number. Do you know what I mean? I saw 95,000, I was like, somebody hit an extra zero. There's no way. There's no way. And then the 19 pictures are, the thing about the pictures, right, is that on their own, only some of them are like damning and weird and crazy. A lot of them are just pictures of people hanging out. It's just who is hanging out. Do you know what I mean? It's like a picture of Jeffrey Epstein and like Steve Bannon. You know, Steve Bannon back when he was actually like working in the White House and everything, like working for Trump when he wasn't just Steve Bannon. Sometimes you look at somebody. Steve Bannon a tough one, because sometimes you look at somebody and you're like, oof, maybe they gotta be racist. Like, I don't know. If I look like that, I'd probably hate everybody too. I'd probably, look, I'm not condoning racism. I'm just saying, like, look, no one else looks like that. So, of course, he's gonna hate everybody that doesn't look like that. He gotta look like that. That's hard to live with. Man. Steve Bannon hate everybody. He looked like he would hate everybody. You know, like there's some. I'm not saying that every like racist person is ugly on the outside. I'm just saying that like when you look at him and if somebody told you he was like a deep like a super racist, you'd be like, yeah, I'll let the racists have that one. Like that's not getting in my feelings at all. That is, imagine somebody hates you and like really hate like a lot of hate in their heart, and they would love like a sort of dystopian future where you and everybody like you is living a terrible life just because they have so much hate in their heart. And you see them though, like on paper that's very upsetting, but when you see them, let's say you see this person and then you're like, oh. Do you know what I mean? Like Steve Bannon looked like white Thanos. Like he was crazy. When I found out about this dude, I was like, is this dude? I didn't want to assume he was racist, and then he said some kind of racist. I was like, yeah, there it is. Because the thing about when you're racist, it's like people have to feel less bad about not wanting to be around you anyway. And I will say this: look, this is just me. I'm not telling anybody else how to feel. This is just me. Even if Steve Bannon was not racist at all, I would still be like, ugh. And that's on me. That is on me. That is me. You know what I mean? Like, sometimes you judge a book by its cover and you're right because the book is like made of skin. Like, remember the book from Hocus Pocus? Steve Bannon made of the same leather binding as the... Why he always look wet? This man... See what I mean? He looked like if Sweat woke up and started walking and talking and being racist. Like, it's just... Man. You look at Steve Bannon and you're like, no wonder the Klan wore sheets. Like, there's people that you see sometimes and you're just like, woof, wooga, booga, ooga. And Steve, I said all that to say Steve Bannon is in pictures with Jeffrey Epstein. It's like, that's also not good. Because it's not like you could convince anyone you were anyone else. Do you know what I mean? There are people in the Trump administration that look like other people. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like Sean Duffy to me looks like every coach I've ever seen. Every like youth sports coach, I'm just like, yeah, maybe. If you told me he was like Secretary of Transportation or like the head coach of the youth volleyball league, I'd be like, both of those track for me. So if Sean Duffy was in a picture, you'd be like, is that Sean Duffy? Because that could be somebody else. But nobody else looked like Steve Bannon. So as soon as I saw Steve Bannon, I was like, oh, Steve Bannon. Jeffrey Epstein let Steve Bannon get real close to him. I knew he was a freak. I didn't know, wow. Oh, man. And then you see like Jeffrey Epstein with plenty of other people. You see pictures from the island and stuff like that. You see Jeffrey Epstein in pictures with Woody Allen. This is very weird. It's not weird as if I saw that picture. It's like, not Woody. I'm saying. I'm saying it's weird in that you see Woody Allen by himself, and maybe you're already like, ugh. And then you see how people fight it. We know everything with Woody Allen. We don't even need a rehash. We know. Yeah. And then you see this, and you're like, I know it. Seeing Woody Allen with Jeffrey Epstein would be like. It would be like if OJ's glove slipped on perfectly. Like, oh, yeah. Woody Allen. I forget about Woody Allen all the time. And then something reminds me of Woody Allen, and it never doesn't remind me what Woody Allen is like. Do you know what I mean? There's never, I don't know, maybe I don't watch enough movies, but I've never been like, a new Woody Allen. Like, no, the thing with the daughter, and it's top of mind. You know, Woody Allen. What would they have to talk about? Like, and then there's a picture of, I think it was like Bill Clinton and Ghislaine Maxwell together, like a group picture and everything. Hillary, not there. Hillary, not the, man. Every time Bill not with Hillary, he get in trouble. You know Hillary must stay mad as hell at home.
Oh, yeah.
See all these people. 19 pictures out of 95,000. That, I don't know why we keep dropping like Epstein content like albums. Like this is... Oof. No, this is bad. I don't even know what to do with this. Do you know what I mean? Because it's like, you know, you see a picture of Trump and all the people whose faces they're like blacking out and everything. And you're like, okay, what's that? What is that? That never looks good. That never looks good. If I take a picture with some people and they blacked out everybody's face but mine, there's no smile, there's no demeanor you can have when they blacked out everybody's face but yours and look like innocent. Like there's no way it's not happening. If I take a picture with people and they black out everybody's face but mine, either I did something or they did something. You know what I mean? There's no, like, even if you look happy, blacked out everybody's face but then you. Blacked out everybody's face and then you. There's no scenario where you don't look like you did something. They blacked out everybody's face but yours. It's not good at all. And then you see these weird inside jokes they had and everything. It's weird stuff. It's upsetting, weird, and it's crazy to me. It is so insane to me that out of this multi-billionaire cabal of predators, that somehow amongst all of them, because you're talking about like what would normally be serious conspiracy level stuff, like would be on TV type of, these people, every single one of them, so far as we've seen, right? All of us, whether you've only like delved in it a little bit and you've just seen what was on TV reported on the news, or whether you dug deep yourself and you've researched a bunch of all the people involved and everything, it is insane that out of all of these people, billionaires the world over, right, having ties to each other that are just through Epstein, don't make any sense, that somehow all of these people, every single one of them does not know how to draw anything. Like they cannot draw at all. It's terrifying how like the drawings they do aren't even motor skills. Like this is, I don't know what I'm looking at half the time. Like even that thing that Trump supposedly drew, but then they're like, we have proof he drew, but I don't even know. I don't even know. I really don't know. I assume he drew it, but I don't know if they finally like said, because he said he didn't draw it. But then when you see the drawing, you're like, he drew it. That looked like, it looked like something he would draw, because it's like the way it doesn't look like a person. It's like, I would like to think that not only did Donald Trump draw that, but that is how he sees people. Like it would make more sense for the country if Donald Trump only saw things in cartoons. That would be pretty good. If you went inside his head and it was like, oh, everything looked like Dilbert. This is crazy. Because doesn't he seem like an Adventure Time type president? Like, just like, him looking around, people are like, this is serious. And he's like, I don't know. He looked like a dragon. I mean, it's like, sir, that's Steve Bannon. Steve Bannon, multiple pictures with Jeffrey Epstein. Hanging out. Man. What could they have to talk about? Yeah, I mean, what, like, ugh. Ugh. Do you ever wonder if Steve Bannon tried? If he tried to, like, nah, I gotta do something, I gotta clean myself up. Let me do like a chemical peel or something. Like, let me do something. I don't know. Like, I don't know if you just look like that off the rip. Like, I think something happened. There's gotta be an origin story at play. You can't just, you know what I mean? Like, I feel like Steve Bannon got the same background as Splinter from Ninja Turtles. Like, just, they, probably, like, it would make sense if Steve Bannon was like living in a sewer and then he came across these turtles, right? And these turtles, he started taking care of the turtles. He thought about eating them, but then he was like, nah, I'll take care of them, everything. And then there's like this toxic waste that they were all exposed to, and he put the turtles in it because he was like, I lived. And so then the turtles got like a special, you know, physical intelligence for martial arts, and he went off and joined the White House staff. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. He just doesn't look like I've seen Steve Bannon say like dog whistle racist things and been like, bro, you don't need the dog whistle. Like, this one's all you. Like this. Steve Bannon is what you imagine when you imagine like a deeply, you know, racist person. You know what I mean? Like, it's like you look at it and you're like, oh. You know? I would rather it be that way. No, it's just convenient that his entire shape aligns with his views. Like, it's just, if you really have never seen Steve Bannon, he looked like, you know a Sphinx? He looked like,
Oh my God.
he looked like the head of a frog and the body of a wildebeest and the legs of a chicken and the hands of like a mole rat. You know what I mean? I feel like I don't know, Steve Bannon just seemed like he bite ice cream. You know those people? You know those people who can't even enjoy a treat without being a psycho? You know what I'm talking about? Like, Steve Bannon looked like he bite an ice cream cone in the face. Like, he just attack it. He lets it drip down his hand and goes, I'll save some of this for later. It is crazy how you will be doing your best to get your life together as best as you can. And it is unfair that anybody can make you their emergency contact. Like, I can't even get into a hotel room I paid for without my ID, but you could just write my name and number down. And now all of a sudden I'm who they call if you get busted up. Like, this is a crazy system we've created. What if your emergency contact don't like you? We didn't think this through at all. This is I mean, it's indicative of a you know, less than stellar healthcare system, but your emergency contact should be somebody that you trust, should be somebody responsible. It should be somebody who knows their emergency contact, you know what I mean? Like, you gotta make somebody your emergency contact the way you make somebody a godparent. They need to know. Because you could do that too. You could also just make somebody you know a godparent and not tell them. And then people will hit them up and be like, hey, so they said if anything ever happened to them, you have a kid now. And when you say what, they're like, they said you'd say that. what? In what world? I was made the emergency contact for a friend one time, and I was like, I don't know what he expects me to do with this. Like, they called me and they were like, hey, you're his emergency contact. I'm like, all right, what was the emergency? And he skateboarded off a roof. No, I had the same reaction. Not only did I have the same reaction, he looked at me crazy like, I thought I could land it. No, my mistake. I forgot. The world is Tony Hawk Pro Skater 9. That was crazy though. I thought I could land it. And so I made them call you on a Saturday. That's the other thing too. You can make your emergency contact somebody so that the person who should really be your emergency contact doesn't find out. You know what I mean? Made me the emergency contact because he knew if he made his parents the emergency contact, he'd hear an earful about skateboarding off a roof. But the crazy thing about making me the emergency contact versus his parents is that his parents still live in the state he's in. I moved away years ago. This is just... I don't even drive. What do you expect me to do for you? Do you know what I mean? Like, you would be better off just telling me to put you on the prayer list or something. Because even the person that called me, even like the receptionist that called me, I was like, so am I supposed to do something? And they were like, no, not really. We're sort of letting you know. I was like, wait. So you called me. He's alive, right? Like, he's alive? And like, yeah, I mean, probably gonna be discharged in a couple of days. I was like, oh, okay. Is anything broken? I'm like, yeah, his leg. I was like, oh, okay, so not his hands or his mouth. But he still made you call me even though he has my number. And then this was insane. I'm on the phone with this person at the hospital, right? I said what I just said. I said what I said to her, what I just said to you, and then she went, oh yeah. No. You work at the hospital. I cannot be blowing your mind right now. That is terrible. It's so frustrating too. You know, he got a big bill for it. He got a big bill for breaking his leg, skateboarding off the roof. And it's not like they charge you extra for it being stupid. They charge you what they charge you based on, you know, insurance, network, deductible, all stuff like that. It would, I think by now that I'm an adult and I like know what any healthcare thing is, right? Because when I was a kid, I would just go to the doctors. My mom took me to the doctor because she was like, I don't know, right? Like, if I got hurt or felt sick around my grandma, there was usually something. There was usually like a remedy, something passed down. I remember one time I had a wild lump in my throat, like to the point where I was like, I wasn't necessarily having a lot of trouble swallowing. It was just very present. It was making me deeply uncomfortable. And then she was like, oh, okay. You know, I'm thinking in my head, I'm gonna have to go to the hospital because I'm like, I've never even heard of this. And then she's like, oh, tell me what's wrong. I told her. And then she was like, okay. She goes to the kitchen, comes back and she puts like a couple dashes of salt on a spoon. She was like, open your mouth. And then she put the spoon right under, you know the thing. And so she put it on there, and I was like, And then, sure enough, it just went away. It just went away. No charge. It's gone. It's crazy, you know? Meanwhile, you go to the doctor, and you ask the doctor what's wrong. And the doctor's like, I have no idea. Like, I don't know you. We just met and you just told me what's wrong. Why would I know? Do you think I'm magic? Why would I know what was wrong? I have no idea what's wrong. I'll run some tests so I can find out, which is logical. That does make sense. That does sound like science. I don't know, so let's run some tests so we can find out. All right, we're all human. We can't all just guess and be right. How much will the test cost? I don't know. Why would I know that? It's a test, and it's a test for you, which is gonna cost different from everybody else. Don't you know that? You idiot. Don't you know that the test costs whatever we say it costs after it's been done, so that way you can't really make a decision on whether or not you can afford it. We're just gonna tell you later, you know. Like, I don't know, a hospital charged you the way a loan shark lends you money. It's like, because you get the bill and you're like, all right, I was there. So I remember you barely helping. Meanwhile, everybody that like wants to do good, like some of the most good you can do as a medical professional is really lean in and quietly tell somebody like, hey, look, this is gonna be insane. Just so you know, this is gonna be, you know, this is too much. Like, I love when I get like a nurse or a doctor and I ask them like, well, what about this? Like, would you do this? And they're like, no. That's real good, you know? Because I genuinely feel like nurses especially don't get the like pay, the recognition, any of the like the care that they deserve, because if there's gonna be someone that saves you $20,000, it will be a nurse. It'll be a nurse that's like, just take some ibuprofen. You know? Or like, you know, sometimes you end up in a bad situation because you get charged this insane amount in this incredibly frustrating way, whether you got good care or not. That's devastating. Imagine you have to pay all this money, still don't even know what's wrong. You know, it's crazy. Because then I've been in situations where, yeah, I was at the doctor and I was like, this is bad. I can tell this is bad. And not bad as in my health, bad as in like, I don't think he a good doctor. Like I could like, and I'm not saying this is a medical profession. I'm saying like okay, some of it's presentation. If you're a doctor, I don't want to hear Like you, like really think about what you're gonna say before you say it, and don't hit me with the uhs and ums when you're telling me something, because I'm asking you, I don't know. So if you're like, it might It might be inflammation. It could be stress. It could be. It's like, okay, if we're just guessing in a room together. If we just guessing in a room together, then I can go ahead and go because I'm gonna get charged like you said what it was. No. It's crazy. It does not have to be like this. It doesn't have to be like this at all. And you know, because you go to any other country and it's different. I'm not even saying it's always better, but it's different. They're like, oh yeah, we do it a different way where you don't die. You know what I mean? We do it this different way where, like, yeah, technically our healthcare is expensive because you have been, taxed to the point where it's already all in the social safety net, and the safety net catches you. Is the whole point of the net. And then when you come here, you don't have to worry about an arm or a leg in payment when we don't know, because we won't know. We won't know here either. Do you know what I mean? You go to the doctor in France, and like, don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that some of these places with universal healthcare don't have incredibly long lines or don't have their own like system failings, but I'm just saying a start is a start, you know? And sometimes you go to these places and you'll be like, oh, okay, the line is what y'all are complaining about. The line? All right. The line. Because we have a line. We also sit in the line for long to not know. That's one of my favorites, is like how ambulances can be out of network. That's you can tell the devil came up with that. That's the. And look, I'm not saying I know everything about this. I'm just saying this is my understanding. I hope I'm wrong. I love being wrong. It's usually a better world when I'm wrong. I love being wrong, but from what I understand, there are like ambulances that are not covered that will then take you to hospitals that are out of network, which just makes the whole thing more expensive. It becomes like a $9,000 Uber ride to the hospital. And I don't know, I feel like it's tough. It's tough because it's like, how are you gonna tell them? Like, let's say you hurt yourself. Let's say you get hurt and maybe you're even like knocked out or something. So then somebody calls an ambulance. It's scary. You don't want just to witness somebody dying right in front of you. So you call an ambulance. The ambulance comes and picks this person up, takes them to the closest hospital and everything. And you were unconscious. So you couldn't tell them, I'm not getting in the ambulance. I'll walk. I will walk and die before I get in there. Because then every time the wheel turned, that's like $200. And then you got the nerve to try parallel park at the hospital. Get some extra turns in, no. But you couldn't do that. You couldn't protest that you didn't want to get in this ambulance, that you didn't want to go to this hospital, it's out of network. Maybe you even knew that, right? And you couldn't stop it from happening because you were knocked out because you skateboarded off a roof like an idiot. And then you're laying in the hospital bed, leg broke, you broke. And then this person calls your emergency contact. Who didn't know? And then they pick up, thinking it's a scam call, so they were admittedly a little rude when they picked up the phone. Because I do not like when people call me and ask me if it's me. You called me. You called me to ask if it's me. I know I'm me. If you don't know if I'm me, don't call me. If you don't know, you called me to be like, is this Josh? It's like, is that a trick? What is this? The only people that have this number are the people that know me. So if you don't know me and you have this number, maybe don't call. But if you do think it's me, you would just say, hey Josh, right? You would say it with confidence. You wouldn't act like you found this number written on a bathroom stall. Hey, it's just Josh. Are you out of your mind? Is this Josh? That's what I love in my day. I love to spend my day telling people it's me when they think it's me and they've called me. The only way to have an interaction that's more aggravating is if someone was holding your ID and reading it and looking at you and go, is this you? It couldn't be more me. You're talking to me asking if I'm me. And so then I don't say anything because I can't tell if you're a robocall or not. Because you get those now too. You will get a robocall. You'll get a robocall and it'll sound not AI for the first 3 seconds. Because anybody can say hello and sound convincing. Some people say it weird. Some people do. People who are not AI will be like, hello? I can't tell if that was a computer or I can't you know what I mean? It's like how you never know if the first sentence of a poem is good or bad. We need a little more to decide. You get that first hello. You get a hello. You get so many different hellos and you're like, all right, this could clearly be a machine. You're not gonna get me. And I don't know this number. And you called me, I pick up, and look, maybe it's wrong. I'm sure it wastes time, but when you call me and I don't know your number, I do give it 10 seconds of just silence. I wait for you to speak. I wait for you. This might be insane. I don't know if I'm crazy, but I wait for you to speak. I don't know you, and then I'm pretty sure your voice triggers the robocall. You know what I mean? So when you're like, hello, they're like, oh, a person? Oh, we got you now. This number works. So then I'm like, I pick up and I'm like.
Talk to me. I ain't talking first. I don't know you.
And then I hear, hello? And I'm like, all right, you're not out of the woods yet. What's that second hello sound like? Because if the second hello sounds eerily similar to the first hello, you're an AI. No. No one says hello exactly the same pitch for pitch every single time. Hello?
Hello?
Hello? Is someone there? You know what I mean? And then this is what I'll do. This is also. This admittedly doesn't make sense. I'll tell you this right now. This does not make sense. This is why I should never be your emergency contact. Because even after the second hello or is someone there, all I'll give you is a cough. I'm coughing right into the phone. Because a person will be like, oh, okay, that's a person, and maybe they're getting situated. Maybe they answered it in their pocket and they're trying to get it to their head or something. But a robot doesn't know. Hello, is someone there? Is someone there? Is someone there? You know what I mean? And then you can just hang up, right? But hello? Hello? Okay, 2 different hellos. That sounds promising. Can you hear me? Oh, okay. Can you hear me? That's pretty... You all right? Oh, okay. All right. Okay. Are you okay? Yeah. Sorry. Yeah, I'm good. Hi, how's it going? Good. How are you? I'm good. Is this Joshua? I know you don't know me, but you're already trying my patience. Who is this? Because tell me who you are. Don't ask me who I am. This is my phone and I'm already in it. Like, I'm already in my phone. You're a visitor in my phone asking if... Imagine somebody came into your house. They walked inside and they were like, "Are you you?" You'd be like, I have to shoot you now. I have to, like... Tell me who you are. If you broke into my phone, tell me who you are. Is this Josh? Yeah. It's Josh. Oh, okay. We're calling from blah blah medical, and you were listed as the emergency contact for your friend. And I'm like, oh, okay, that's interesting. That's interesting because I didn't know that I was his emergency contact. That's wild. You can just do that to anybody that you want. It's crazy. You can make someone your emergency contact while owing them $200. And that's wild. That's wild because when I need to emergency contact him for my money, there's no answer. That's crazy. That's crazy. You know, when I have an emergency of funds from the funds I don't have from the $200 I lent him, somehow, wow, can't get a hold of him. Line isn't working. But when what did he do? He skateboard for a roof. Huh, okay. Probably bought that skateboard with the $200 Do I need to do anything here? Is there anything I'm supposed to do? Like, am I getting charged for this call or anything? They're like, no, you don't have to do anything. I'm like, okay, good. I won't be doing anything. Because I just want you to know something about your patient, that he is a coward, all right? Because he has my number, but he knows that if he calls me, I'll ask him why the last text message I sent him about the $200 was left on red. And so he had you call me like I would forget. Why don't you call his parents? They live in the state. They could come pick him up or anything. And then I don't know what's like protocol or anything. I feel like because I do my best in real time to have like a real interaction with a person, like people are so used to pleasantries on the phone, especially like in a professional setting, like nurses, doctors, everything like that. I think that because of my general demeanor, or maybe the fact that I seem like I could hang up at any moment, or maybe she was as sick of my friend as I am. I don't even think she was supposed to tell me this, but she was like, oh yeah, because I asked, well, why don't you call his parents? I can give you their number. They're not even my emergency contact, and I can give you their number. They would be more interested in this whole ordeal. You know what I mean? And then she tells me, she's like, no, they're here. It was their roof that he skateboarded off of. They're here. They're here as in there. They're here as in there where you are in that building. They might be behind you. Why do you? Like, oh well, it's a protocol. We felt they just got here, so we called you. To be fair to her, we had been on the phone for a while now, so like there was time for his parents to get there. It's like, you can just do that. You can just make somebody your emergency contact, not even tell them. That's crazy. That's wild, Lisa. She's like, huh, yeah. I was like, all right. It's a weird conversation to try to end, too. Because then I'm sitting there like, does he need $200 more? Like, why would he? His parents are there now, and I don't live there. I don't know what I'm supposed to do with the information that his leg is broken. And then she was like, yeah, I don't know either. I told her, I was like, I hope you have a good day. Like, you deserve a good day. You have to call and let people know they're the emergency contacts of people that they don't even know what's happening. And she's like, yeah, thank you. And then we got off the phone, and I just sat there. I genuinely just sat there for a second. I just was on the phone with this person for a while. And it occurred to me, like, I'm sitting there, now I know not only am I like my friend's emergency contact, because through everything, that does say something. It says something about like how he sees me or something like that. And sometimes you have a friend that you don't really know where you stand with for a given reason, and then something like that happens and you're like, oh, maybe we're closer than I thought. Like, even though I moved away, he was like, I want this person to know if something happens to me, which did touch me. Like, and I'm being completely serious. It was like genuinely that did like move, because we hadn't spoken in a little while. It wasn't even like a falling out or anything like that, but we just hadn't talked in me moving and everything. And I was just sitting there thinking about how he made me the emergency contact instead of his parents and everything. And I was also sitting there, just eventually I was like, it was $300 that so I've had quite a week still trying to distill all of my thoughts and feelings around the presidential debate. Okay. I live in New York, and in New York there are a lot of parks, and in some of those parks you'll see, it's like an iconic thing about New York, that there'll be somebody playing chess in the park, right? And sometimes they're just two old men playing chess or checkers. Sometimes it's somebody that's like, hey, I'll play anybody, I'm practicing for a tournament. And a lot of times it's somebody who's playing chess, but they're playing for like money. Like, you put 5 down, I bet you can't beat me, and I'll put 5 down, and we'll see. And then, you know, speed chess as well. They got the clock next to them, bow, 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 right? And I've played before, and I'm not good at chess. And it's crazy how fast you can lose. Sometimes I'll be playing chess in the park, and he'll be like, checkmate, but it sounds like there's no way. Then I'll grab, I have a chess book, and I'll look at the board and look at the book. Like, damn, okay. That wasn't that many moves. I don't know what else I was supposed to do. You know? And I don't know, I feel like watching the election and watching the debate felt a lot like that. It felt like bad chess moves. We've watched a lot of debates that Trump has been in, and we've gone 2 for 2 this year with having remarkably historic debates, both of which were like, whew. You know what I mean? Like, you get done and you're like, whew. Felt like I was up there. And there was a moment in the first debate that was echoed in this debate. There was a moment back when Trump was debating Biden, and I've talked about it before, where there's a second there where Trump looked at Biden, and for a split second, he wasn't trying to be president. He wasn't even trying to debate. He was literally like, hey, he good? Like, no, y'all, stop. Is he good, though? It was a different tactic than we've ever seen before from Kamala debating Trump, because she debated him the way that I think a lot of us might debate him. You know? I'm not gonna speak for anybody in here, anybody listening to me. I don't know if you're like a political analyst. I don't know how involved you are with politics, but she debated him the way that I think we debate him sometimes in our heads, which is to be like, what did you just... Because most politicians are not... Hear me out. Most politicians don't behave like people. And when I say that, I want you to understand, I mean, maybe they care about people, maybe they care about getting something good done, maybe they care about forwarding their agenda, but they don't react to things, and they don't behave like people, like just regular people. It's why they feel fake, is because they can't just be like, oh, shit. You see, man? Do you see what I mean? And it's why people from 2015 on have gravitated towards Trump, because he feels like they would react. Like he will say, oh, shit. But then you look at someone like Kamala, and she's a very polished person, very accomplished person. But in that debate, she was having moments that for the first time ever felt like moments that we might have up there. Does that make sense? Like when Trump would debate other Republicans leading up to the nomination, or when Trump would debate Hillary or Biden, there was a sense of like, wait, are you not going to say anything about the thing that he just said just now? Why are you staring forward, acting like what you heard wasn't wrong? Why are you like looking to the moderators to fact check? There's nothing more exhausting than when someone who could be a good player is looking at the ref to be like, help. You know what I mean? You say he's lying right now. Like he just lied now, so say it now. Don't later be like, and then they didn't even help. Do you see what I mean? We've watched it happen. We've watched, he was in those debates. Republicans did not know what to do with this man. He was over there telling Ted Cruz to his face, your wife is ugly. And because Ted Cruz doesn't move like a person, doesn't react like a person, he didn't slap him in his face in that moment. No, Trump has shown that the American people were ready and willing for someone unorthodox. You know how much he would have surged in the polls if he had walked over from his podium and was like, what? And then slapped Trump in his face. I know at least his wife would have liked it. You know? I don't even remember what he said about Marco Rubio. I just remember Marco Rubio looking littler and littler every day. Marco Rubio started showing up. I was like, is he 4'8"? Nobody knew what to do. Journalists didn't know what to do. Journalists were like, but you can't say that about the press. But he did it. What are you going to do? You know? And so now you watch this debate with Kamala, and we've all heard it and probably said it ourselves, that she baited him a lot, but he bit every time. And this is my thing with that, is that decorum aside, don't you want someone representing you that could maybe let something slide? You know, it's got to be tough to be in the public eye. It's got to be tough to be and feel slighted all the time by lots of people that you meet that you don't know and they hate you. But also, you're here to do a job. You're here to do a job on the highest level. So a lot of people won't like you. No matter who wins as president, there will be people who are very upset. Do you really want someone who could be so easily irked? Kamala said, nobody. Kamala said that people leave his rallies early out of boredom and maybe confusion. I don't remember the other thing she said, but she said people were leaving early. And this is what's so interesting about that. We can talk about how much it's warranted or how much of it he egged on or whatever, but there has not been in a very long time a political figure that is as hated as Trump by a lot of people. So a lot of people have said every type of thing about him. A lot of people have drawn him. Do you know how much you gotta hate somebody to draw them? A lot of people... Drawings take time. It's one thing to curse somebody out real quick. It's a totally different thing to... No, wait, I'm getting his ass. I'm gonna take break, but when I get back, he about to get it, all right? So all manner of things have been said to and about him, about himself, about his family, about how he behaves, about how he actually feels, about Americans in America, all of it. But this thing hadn't been said. And it turns out that this was the thing to say. This was the thing. If you're talking about feelings, this was the thing. And look, as someone raised by black women, don't. Black women know how to hurt feelings. Only a black woman would be like, no, go to his little rally and see. That's how confident she was in what she was saying, that she told us to go. She was like, look, I'm gonna do something I wouldn't normally do. Go ahead and go. You'll leave early, don't worry. That was the thing. That was the thing. And you could see it happen. You could see it, on his face, you could see it happen. This dude who has held the highest office has been called a traitor. He's been called a Russian asset. He's been called all manner of things. But this was the thing. And it's because deep down at his core, even his supporters will admit that deep down at the base of who he is, Trump is an entertainer. And all I'm saying is, as a fellow entertainer, if someone had said, Josh, people leave your shows early. Out of boredom and confusion, I'd be like, oh, okay, we fighting, say less. This was the thing. That was the thing that like broke through this weird armor, because I've noticed that Trump specifically
has a thing that has always kind of existed in politics, but has never existed to this degree, right? Where Trump has a filter created by his base, by the people who like him, love him, and everything, that he can say whatever he wants, but they will distill it for him for the rest of us. He'll say whatever, and then they will be like, what he meant was... But what he meant shouldn't have been what he said. Because he said this, and you're saying he meant something else, but he also had access to the words you just said. So are you sure he meant what you're saying and not what he said? I'd like to think that when you say something as the commander-in-chief, you mean what you said when you said it. You didn't say something being like, they'll figure it out. And because he has that filter, because that sort of buffer exists between him and like sound arguments and logic, I don't even mean that as like a diss. I literally mean he could say something and then it could spin out past something that he meant for real, right? Because, as an example, that's like Trump's vaccine. I know we forget that, and I've talked about it before, but that's like, as far as presidents go, as far as you getting credit for the things you do while you're president, that's Trump's vaccine. But when he tried to say, guys, we did it, we have a vaccine, and his audience booed, he realized what it's like. Oh, I don't necessarily control what goes out, even though I said it. I said you should get vaccinated, and then they booed me. So clearly, it's not like a one-to-one. What I say is not, it won't be exactly what they do. So now I'm also trying to figure out how to like keep them on my side, but win them over, but lead them. I think in that moment you saw him get really worried and confused, and he immediately backtracked. He was like, or don't. And I said all of that to say that the screen, the buffer, the thing that he usually has, I'm not saying he lost it for good in this debate, but he did lose it a little bit. Because I grew up in Louisiana, and I know people who are like hardcore in the MAGA movement, like people who are like, no, Trump is the guy. He is going to fix everything, right? I've grown up with these people, and we know each other well. And this was the first time that they were like, that wasn't great. Because even in debates against Hillary, they were like, no, okay, he said the thing, and I know it's a good soundbite for you liberals, but like, this is what he meant. And the thing that they're saying he meant, which is what they heard, which is what they decided to hear, is a reasonable thing when they start saying it from their mouths. So now I'm like, oh, okay, if that's what you think, that's what he said, then I can see why you're still like really gung-ho while I'm more put off by what he said, you know? But this was the first time that there was almost like a shared language. There was like a shared reality around like, what's happening to him right now? And he started to spiral, and he said, hey, look, they asked him a question. I can't remember if it was about immigration or the economy, but they asked him a question that should have been a layup for him. And he was still like, can I address the rallies for a second? Which, as a fellow entertainer, I understand. If someone had said that to me, I would have also been like, hey, listen, let me explain, all right? It was a Friday late show. They were tired, okay? You can't put that on me. And he said, can I address the rallies real quick? Because people don't go to her rallies, all right? They don't go to her rallies at all. The people that go to her rallies, she got to bust them in, and then they don't even have fun while they're there. She doesn't have any snacks. Now I'm paraphrasing, but like... But he did. He hit back with like rallies. They asked him underhanded. Should have knocked it out of the park, and he got distracted by rallies and crowd size and things that make sense as a priority if you're an entertainer. But if you're about to be the leader of the free world, they shouldn't matter as much. You know? And you could see him kind of spiraling after that because he was a little frustrated by like this thing that broke through. Then that never happens. Trump is a very hard person to debate because people like him are very hard to debate because they're not trying to have a debate with you. They're trying to make you look dumb. And because Trump is like very good at making other people look dumb, he's very good at debating. You see what I mean? But this was the first time that he was like, what is she talking about? My crowd. And so, you know, he had a bit of a spiral. And before you know it, he was like, look, they're eating the dogs. They're eating the dogs, they're eating cats, they're eating... And you could tell in that moment that Trump wanted to say another animal, but he couldn't think of one. Because he says pets, but pets is off rhythm. If you go back and watch, it's like they're eating the dogs, they're eating cats, they're eating... And you can see for a split second the wheels turn of, he's like trying to think of, they're eating the bird. No, we all eat birds. They're eating the pets. You know? And then, you know, Kamala does a thing, and it's a thing that we've done when we've been watching debates, when we've been watching rallies, when we've been watching them on the news. She does a thing that we've done before, that a lot of other politicians have not done on stage with Trump. She laughed at him. And I think there's context to that laugh, because I'm not trying to get too, like, I don't know, like too much of a deep dive into it, but like there's context with that laugh, because she's not laughing at him, she's laughing at what he said. And that's really different. It's one thing to say Trump is a joke and Trump is a joke, and you could make the argument that the reason Trump became president was because Obama made him a joke. Do you remember that? Do you remember that? Obama made fun of this man and he just sat there quiet, you know? And then years later, he was like, peaceful transition of power, huh? There's a big difference between laughing at Trump and laughing at what he said. You can think that Trump is a joke all you want, but he laughed his way to the presidency. But then when you laugh at what he says, when you take the power out of what he's saying, that's a very different thing. You know? She laughed at what he said for a second. And then there was a second. It was very slight, but there was a second where she was still smiling, but she wasn't laughing. And then there was a second where she wasn't smiling and she wasn't laughing. And it was reminiscent of like, yo. Yo. No, wait, yo. You know? And that's my thing, is I'm like, I look at that, I'm like, wow, that's different, you know? It's very, very different. And the thing I've noticed in both these debates is that they're not even about who did well. They're just about who did the least poorly. That's what we get stuck on. Like, it wasn't even, last debate wasn't even about Trump performing well. It was about Biden crashing out. And then this debate wasn't as much about Kamala winning as much as Trump They're eating the dogs. They're eating the cat. They're eating flamingos. They're eating the pets. No. And it was the first time in all the times that he's debated that Trump looked 78. Because he's 78. And he's got a lot of energy, so we let a lot of those years slide. We don't feel like he's 78. You know what I mean? Like I've known grandpas like Trump. I've known grandpas that were like, oh, he's got so much energy and he's so spry. And he's eating a lot of fast food. But he's 78. You know what I mean? But I guess this is one of my main things about it, is that like, it was the first time I saw him look out of his element on like a really important moment, you know? And I don't want people to think that this is like, that's it. That's all that needed. Not at all. It's harrowing how little it actually moved the needle. Almost everyone feels the way they felt before, even after we saw what we saw. And we agree that it didn't go well for one person. But we're still like, nah, I'm still gonna go the way I was gonna go. That's interesting, you know, that after all of this, they're like tied. Wow. They're tied. In lots of places, they're tied. It's not even like it's working out to be a tie because all this place and all this. No, in a lot of places, they watched that and they were like, I don't know. That's pretty wild, you know? The first time he really looked 78, because it was the first time he said something that like a grandpa would say right before you put him in a home. You know what I mean? Because be honest. If you let a lot of stuff slide as like a child or grandchild, and then grandpa been living by himself. But if one day out of nowhere, and you haven't seen where he saw this on the internet, he just walks up and he's like, they're eating the dogs. They're eating the cat. You're like, okay, that's the last straw. I let you put the remote in the mailbox several times. But this is the one that I can't abide. This is, no? Because it really has consequence. And I think that we live well enough here, even though I'm not even pretending things are just phenomenal. I'm just saying, day to day, by and large, we do get by. And I think that when you get by, especially comfortably, it can feel like a game. You know, it can feel like something that doesn't matter as much. You know, and it can feel like something that you're just playing at. And I think that, you know, it's important to remember that all the things that these people say, these are very powerful people already, and one of them is going to become even more powerful. Everything that they say, everything they do has ripple effects. You know, they're eating the dogs. They're eating the cats. It's like a meme. It's like a thing that's starting up. But it's also, which is very, very important, because we did a thing back in 2014 and we've done it ever since, that I don't know how to fix it. I'm just saying what happened from 2014 on. Anyone online that was even all the way from like crazy people down to people who were slightly conservative, right? From 2014 on, were just called Nazis outright. Right? Anything. And even a question, oh, you Nazi, right? To the point where Nazi started to not mean anything. And when it doesn't mean anything, it's hard to make it mean something when like an actual Nazi shows up, right? And I want to be clear here. The thing that Trump said, it is a lie started by a neo-Nazi. I don't care how many people on Twitter try to find something to make it make sense after the fact. It's a thing that a guy said at a community meeting where he was specifically targeting the Haitian community, and he said that we will not be safe the more Haitians we let into it. That's also the other part of the soundbite. Outside of the dogs and cats, this dude was specifically saying, and he gets kicked out of the community meeting. That part also didn't make it into the viral clip, right? And so when people are saying, well, I saw, and they have these fourth-hand accounts of like my brother's, sister's, uncle's girlfriend has a cat that's missing. And they try to put stuff together. There's even a video going around of some people cooking a cat that's from a year ago and not in Springfield. And then that became like evidence. There's another picture of a guy that was walking with two geese that they said he was on his way to go cook, when actually it was found out that this dude was pulling these geese away from a car accident where they got hit, and that he's probably not Haitian. But even so, death threats, bomb threats, all of this horrible, horrific stuff has been happening to the Haitian community to the point where apparently, maybe this isn't true, but apparently even the person in the Facebook group that first posted about, oh, my niece's cat is missing, and thinking, she has even come out and been like, I never meant for it to turn into this. That was just a Facebook post. Maybe she was having a goof with a friend. She didn't think it would come out of the mouth of the former president in a debate where he was flailing. So all these things have real consequences. It's not a game, and we are not chess pieces, you know? And even after the debate, you know, it almost like hijacked the whole narrative of Trump losing the debate and Kamala winning it. Now it became about this weird thing with hate. And it's also already, in that little bit of time since the debate, switched into Africans, because now they were just like, oh, wait, we got it wrong. It's not Haitians, it's Africans that are eating the dogs and cats. And so now it's already shifted just to try to find some truth out of a thing that was a lie, right? And you have J.D. Vance afterwards who, you know, pretty much probably fed that to Trump. And he's sitting there talking to Collins in an interview, talking about, okay, whether we find out that this is somewhat true or only a little bit true, was not willing to call it a lie, right? He says that, you know, we don't have evidence. This is me paraphrasing just for the sake of brevity, but basically we don't have evidence that there's no evidence. And the thing that is like so brain broken about that logic is that it creates a tidal wave of insanity until you can finally make something that you want to be true, right? Because it could ruin anybody's life. For instance, when you look at J.D. Vance, there is no evidence that there's no evidence that he didn't bang a couch. Do you see? Like, do you see how that's an unending thing? How it could ruin your life and never go away? How you can't even sit anymore? Because people see you next to a love seat and wonder? Do you see how insane that is? A lie that we know is a lie? But we'll work our way to figure out how we can make it true, you know? So just please, I mean, look, we watched the debate, and it was everything from a little bit boring at times to thrilling. We shouldn't even be debating like this anymore, to be honest with you. We've ruined the debate. The debate is too much like a chess game now, where it's like 90 seconds, 90 seconds, make your move, make your move. That's not how you solve problems. When you go back before debates were televised, the people that showed up were willing to be there for hours. And the candidates had a long time to lay out their position. So there actually wasn't as much of a chance to fully dodge questions, because they were like, what are you going to do about immigration? And you have until you figure it out. But when it's 90 seconds, you can be like, what are you going to do about immigration? Well, I believe is time up yet? No. They used to take forever because that's as long as it takes to figure out a problem. And it's as long as it takes to figure out what someone's real piece on something is, you know? If you could figure out big problems in 90 seconds, we probably wouldn't have any, you know? So just watching this thing of like, and then, it feels crazy. It makes me feel crazy because I'm like, yeah, that's not gonna work. They're not gonna make us feel like they have a plan in 90 seconds, you know? And there's too much of an opportunity to get derailed, you know? There was one point where it felt like maybe the only time in the debate where Kamala seemed a little angry. There was only one point, and I don't even remember exactly what led up to it, but she basically was talking about how Trump, which I forgot this happened, because when you live in like a 24-hour, 36-hour news cycle, everything is just sort of going, and there's no time to latch on to anything that matters, and there's no time for like real nuance of an issue. You're just going and going and going. But he did invite the Taliban to Camp David. And I remember when that happened being like, aren't they not supposed to be? The Taliban. Okay. And I remember that moment distinctly because out of nowhere, Kamala turned to Trump and said, this. And you can tell she's trying to find a word that won't get bleeped. And I know it because she had to reset. She actually closed her eyes for a second. This. Once again, as someone who was raised by black women, anytime my mama looked at me and went, you. In her mind, she killed me. You know, in her mind, my life flashed before her eyes. She would come back. This former president. All right, that one will work. You know, she pointed out something that we all saw. We just didn't seem to remember. Or maybe it wasn't that big of a deal at the time, you know. It's important to remember that we're not like just playing teams. It feels very much like teams, which I think is why so many people are like dug in, and no matter what happens, they're like, I'm not switching teams. But this is not a game, and we're not chess pieces. You know, it's very important. You register to vote. It's very important that you go vote and everything, because it's not going to be won by memes. You know, you can't like internet your way to fixing everything, you know? Because I don't know. I don't know how everyone in this room feels or anyone watching feels. I just know that like I just want to feel comfortable with who is representing me out in the world and in front of the country. I want someone who is willing to maybe move a little bit like I would move. Maybe play chess the way I play chess. And I'm not even good at chess. You know, I just, you know, we all, everyone, no matter where you fall on party lines or anything, everybody wants somebody with a plan. And they asked them. asked him, you want to repeal and replace Obamacare, and you say that you have a plan. We're asking right now, what is your plan and how would you enact it? And he didn't answer the first time. But when they asked again, they were like, after 9 years, what is your plan to repeal and replace Obamacare? Because I need to be clear here that, like, if something is a good idea, a really good idea, I don't care what party it comes from. If something is a smart idea, because I am not playing teams, because I don't feel like this is a game. This feels very real. The things that get said in a presidential debate that are funny, that are a joke for a little while, lead to death threats and bomb threats in real life. All of this is real. So if somebody has a plan and it's a good plan, not only will I hear it out, I might even help them try to make it happen, because it helps a lot of people and it gets us somewhere, right? And so they asked him, after 9 years trying to repeal and replace Obamacare, what is your plan? And he was like, look, I have concepts of a plan. I'm starting to feel like if he had repealed and replaced Obamacare back when he was president, not only would we not have health care, but I'm pretty sure our doctors would shoot us. I know I'm late to the conversation, but I found out about it late. I don't know how I missed it, but everybody's been arguing over if they'd rather be left in the woods with a man or a bear. It's a thing that started on TikTok, but then everybody's been putting their 2 cents in all across the internet on different platforms. And it's been interesting because I think it originally got posed to women. Would you rather be alone in the woods with a random bear or a random man, right? And I think people were astonished at how many women picked bear, because it was a lot. I've actually seen very few videos that weren't bear. Which is shocking. It's like, I don't know, it took me aback. And a lot of dudes on the internet got very upset. They got so angry that they were like, why would you pick a bear? Why wouldn't you be, what, are you out of your mind? Are you stupid? Why wouldn't you want to be left alone with a random man, you stupid bitch? I don't understand what I'm doing right now. You know? And I'm not gonna lie, I was like, I don't know how in my feelings I was about it, but I was shocked. I was just like, oh, wow, geez. And then you actually hear people talk about it. You actually hear, women say, like, well, the worst thing that, a bear is gonna do is either attack you or leave you alone, right? A man could do so many worse things to you, And then there was one woman, and I think her sentiment was like echoed around all of social. It's just like, she basically said, at least if I got attacked by a bear, people would believe me. Which I was like, ooh. When I heard it, I was like, ooh. Oof. Where do you go from there? What do you do next? What do you say to that sort of thing, Because it is true. It's a terrifying truth. It's a very sad truth. If somebody got attacked by a bear and ran up to you, you wouldn't be like, nah. Nah, you good. Like, just, it made me question as guys, because the women were saying men could do all different types of things, right? Bear could just attack or not attack, right? And it made me wonder, like, as guys, what are we doing that women would rather pick a bear? They'd rather risk their entire life than to be left alone with us and, like, hear about a podcast. Rough stuff. I don't know if y'all saw this this Chiefs kicker. This is when it pays to be a sports fan, because I don't even need to explain all of it. But basically, in case you didn't see it, there was a kicker for the Chiefs who gave a commencement speech at a school that, I don't know, maybe he went there. Maybe that's why they wanted him. Seems like kicker is like pretty low on the list of who I want to bring to my school to sit, because this is like the last speech your kids are going to get at education before you send them out into the world, you know? And he gets up there, and at first it didn't seem to be like that weird of a speech. I saw people were messaging me about it, and I was like, what did he say? As I was watching it at first, I was like, what did he say? He's like, oh, just be a strong man, take care of the people around you, have good values, all the stuff like that. And then I kept watching. Because at first I was like, man, what's everybody been out of shape about? And then I kept watching, and then he was like, and to all the ladies here, I'm paraphrasing, to all the ladies here with your little degrees, go ahead and have a baby or your life is meaningless. He didn't really say that, but it's how people felt. And it's pretty crazy, because I looked him up afterwards, because I was just like, the weird thing about him is that because he's the kicker, he really feels this way. He has the least CTE on the team. These are his true and present values. But then I looked him up, and apparently his mom is a physicist. Which, I don't know. I mean, I guess, to a certain degree he's working something out there. If your mom's a physicist, I can't imagine how many times in your life you've been corrected. Yeah, I mean, maybe that's what it is. Maybe he's like, I just want a woman who won't talk to me and be right. Yeah, I mean, because his mom is a physicist and he's a kicker. Which means every time he misses, his mom can tell him exactly how off he was. I want to tell you a journey that I've had. I have become invested, captivated by 1-star reviews. Because this is my thing. Look, if you got 1 star as a company, you should be closed. But I guess legally not enough has happened where somebody had to come close you. So the public is taking it upon themselves to warn each other, hey, this place, no. Because when you see a 1-star review, this thing, 5-star review is like, wow, I had a great experience. I want to support this business. I actually also want to make sure other people have as good of a time as I had, so I'm going to spread the word with a 5-star review. 4 stars is like, okay, I had a good time, but there are a couple things they can improve. Let me let the business know. 3 is unnecessary. 3 to me is insane, because 3 is you taking the time to go, meh, and it's like... That feels like psychotic behavior to me. I've never left a 3, all right? I've never left a 3. I go full 5 or 1. I either try to spread the gospel or warn my friends. 2 is like something happened. 2 is like, look, I would do a 1, but someone there was so sweet that I want to acknowledge how great they were. Because you'll notice a lot of 2-star reviews have something positive in them to a point where I'm like, why isn't this a 4-star review? And then you get to the end and it's like, but there was blood everywhere. And you're like, oh, okay. All right, I got you. So hospitality check. Wonderful environment check, but lots of blood in the bathroom. I see why you have a 2 now. I see you were trying to give props, you're trying to be fair. I personally have never read a 1-star review that I didn't wish was longer. One time I was just chilling with Logan and I was reading him 1-star reviews that were making me laugh. And I can't remember what the business was now. I'm blanking on the business, but I think it was like a seafood place. It was like a crab shack. And then there was a 1-star review that just said, this place is a chair. No. Legally, you should have to keep typing. Don't just leave that. I don't know what that means. Like, you can also tell, because some businesses, this is a different, look, I'm digressing, but this is a different point. But you can tell when a business, especially a restaurant, is nasty, not just when it has low reviews, but when it acts like a dude on a dating app. You know what I mean? Like they'll be taking pictures of the food, but the pictures of the food too close. Like, it's not a picture of the food on the plate, it's just a picture of 3 pieces of rice with some peas in the corner, and you're like, that's too close to the food. That means the plate is dirty. A 1-star review is a testament to an experience, you know? I live in New York, so there are a lot of 1-star reviews of a lot of businesses that will never close because they're either fronts or they own the building, so they don't have to worry about rent. But there was my favorite is when a place is permanently closed, but you can still read all the information. Like, they haven't shut down the website and the Google reviews are still there. And there was a funeral home. There was a funeral home that had a 1-star review, and I was like, this is my afternoon. Thank you, Google, for picking up the slack. Like I said, every 1-star review leaves you wanting more. There was a 1-star review that just said, they lost my daddy. We don't know where or how long or... They lost my daddy in all caps. 1-star review as a whole is incredible because it means that everyone's experience has been similar, right? Like, you'll see places with like a 3.0 and you'll see it really breaks down to like half 1s, half 5s, right? It just depends on the day, what kind of service that they get. 1-star review means everyone agrees, right? And the thing about a business having a 1-star review that blows my mind is I used to live in Chicago. And when I lived in Chicago, I didn't know you could just start a Yelp or a Google review for a place you didn't own. So someone had started like a Google review for Cook County Jail. Cook County Jail as a whole had 2 stars. And it's honestly hard to, like, I've read most of them, right? And one of them was 1 star, right? 1 star. And it just said, the guards are so mean. And then under it, because you know, if you're the business, you could comment under it. So then under it, they were like, you were in jail. But I'm not gonna lie, I'm on the formerly incarcerated person's side because they didn't refute it. They were just like, this is what we do here. Oh, it was amazing. It was amazing. There was a 4-star review for Cook County Jail. It's like, I stayed here, wasn't the worst, wasn't the best, but I did it. And that's a very objective person. That's somebody who's like, well, I did my crime, and this is as jails go, it's pretty good. Like yeah, I mean, I don't want to see the business go under. Let me go ahead. Oh, it's incredible. I remember when I started looking at salons, because I go to salons now. I used to go to barbershops, and trying to make that transition, I was just looking up Google reviews for places, and I got taken on a beautiful journey, because all these places, especially like anybody knows who is like trying out a place for the first time, like when you go to get your hair done, you're really putting your life in somebody else's hands. And that's all of us, whether you're going to a barbershop, salon, whatever. Because I've got bad haircuts before. I've got haircuts that left me looking like... They just left me looking like I don't know how to take care of myself, and now I gotta wait till my hair grow back a little bit to look even again, I went to the website of this salon, and I saw all the like beautiful designs of the braids that they do, the variety that they do and everything. So then I went to the bottom of the website, and it says, we're currently not taking clients, right? Which happens sometimes. But I went to their Google just to check if maybe they don't update the website, because I was like, let me call, because maybe something's changed, right? When I get to their Google profile, I just go ahead and I'm like, let me look at the reviews just to check, because all this stuff is beautiful in the picture, but these could be Google images. So I'm reading lots of 5 stars, lots of 4 stars. Overall, they have a 4.7 as a business. So I'm like, they're crushing it, right? I do see a 1-star review, and I'm like, well, let me. Because you don't want to count out a 1-star reviews experience, because that means that whatever happened, as long as they're not lying, whatever happened, happened. And it could happen to you, right? So I'm reading it, and it's like, staff was so rude, I booked an appointment. They were trying to act like they didn't know who I was, and they sent me out, right? And I was like, wow, that seems weird. Because the business can comment underneath their comment. The business said, Chandra, you need help. Chandra, you need help. You tried to fool us and showed up as if you had an appointment, even though it says on our website we are not currently taking clients. You said that you talked to someone that we don't employ about an appointment, and then sat in the chair demanding. I was like, fair enough, wow. That's amazing. I guess you can't trust every 1-star review, but wow. I tried to go, and they were not taking clients. Like I had a very similar experience to Chandra. I was just like, it's like, I don't know, what have I tried? I don't know, maybe I could be slick. And they were like, sir.